Medicare Part A and B premiums and deductibles have finally been released by CMS. I get asked the question all the time, is Medicare cost tied to regular inflation? And that's just not the case. It's not tied to CPI. It's actually tied to a separate inflation, medical inflation. Now, one thing that you can use this for, besides just educating your clients and making sure that they're aware of the cost, is it is an opportunity to talk to them about other insurance products like annuities, like life insurance. Hey guys, Curt Graham from Elite Insurance Partners back again for another industry update. Today I'm talking about Medicare Part A and B premiums and deductibles have finally been released by CMS, so we know what they're going to be in 2026. I'm going to jump right over to the CMS newsroom. This was released on November 14th, 2025. One thing I'm not going to be talking about is Part A premium because, as you can see, 99% of Medicare beneficiaries don't have to pay Part A premium because they've either worked for 40 quarters, which is 10 years, or their spouse has, so they qualify for Medicare Part A at no additional cost. They do have a breakdown of the inpatient deductible as well as the coinsurance if they are admitted to a hospital for an extended period of time from 2025 to 2026. I did add in a couple different columns here, which is the change from one year to the next. So if we're looking at inpatient deductible in 2025, it is $1,676. That's going to $1,736 or a $60 increase, which works out to be 3.6%. You will notice all of these are 3.6% because everything comes off of this deductible. This is 1/4 of the deductible. This is 1/2 of the deductible, and this is 1/8 of the deductible. I'm looking at the changes because it's kind of easier to visualize. But if we keep going down, days 61 through 90 is $419 per day this year, going up to $434. And our lifetime reserve days 91 through 150, we're $838 this year, going up to $868. And our skilled nursing care is going from $209.50 to $217 for days 21 through 100. Remember, days 1 through 20 are covered at 100% by Medicare, so they don't have to pay for any of those. If we jump on down to Medicare Part B premium, this year, 2025, we're looking at $185, which is now going up to $202.90, a 17.9 dollar increase or 9.7% change. Our deductible, we're looking at $257 going to $283, $26 increase, which is around 10%, just over 10%. I get asked the question all the time, is Medicare cost tied to regular inflation? And that's just not the case. It's not tied to CPI. It's actually tied to a separate inflation, medical inflation. And so that's why these numbers can be higher than that. Now, most seniors on Social Security this year received an average increase of about $50 per check. And so they are going to see a lot of that taken up by their original Medicare cost. And the rest of it might be taken up by increases in their, Medicare supplement or their Part D premium. So this is very important for us to be talking to our clients about year in and year out and making sure that they are aware of these changes. If we jump back over to this, one of the things that's noted here is that the administration has taken some steps against spending on skin substitutes because it was costing a lot of money. I'm going to show you in this article, but they average out. They think that these savings are going to be about $11 a month premium increase that they would have had to have, that they're not having to have because of these changes. If you were to click into this article, it hops over here and it talks about some of the things that have been going on. And if we look at it, is just massive increases going from $256 million in 2019 for skin substitutes to $10 billion in 2024. They attribute it to, abusive pricing practices. I mean, $2,000 per square centimeter does seem like a lot of money, but they also attribute it a lot to fraud. In this case that they point out here, $4.3 million was spent basically on a single beneficiary who didn't even have evidence that they needed prior wound treatment. They do believe that by changing the way that they make these payments for skincare, they can reduce the cost by nearly 90% without costing any, patient access or quality of care. And they're estimating that that's going to save somewhere in the range of about $19.6 billion in 2026. So if you see that, I mean, it was $10 billion in 2024. They were guessing it was going to be around 19.6 billion in 2026. Absolutely incredible growth in that one place. You have, if you've been paying attention to the DOJ, there's been cases out of Arizona. I think it was a $650 million fraud case. They were paying doctor kickbacks, paying, salespeople huge money. That just got brought. There was another one that I saw, and forget where it was, but where they were actually giving skin substitutes to people that were in hospice, and it was actually causing more infections. Really what those people should be getting is antibiotics and wound cleaning the wounds, not skin grafts. And they took out a case against that group as well. So it is real savings that we're talking about here, if all of that does work out. Last thing we need to talk about is people that receive an income-related monthly adjustment, which is only about 8% of people that are on Medicare. In this year, coming up in 2026, anybody that's making over $109,000 is going to be paying more money. They won't be paying the $202.90. They'll be paying at minimum $284.10. And if they are on the highest income bracket, it could be up to almost $700. So it's definitely something you want to be talking about to all of your people that are joining Medicare, and also talking about to people that are already on Medicare and explaining why that is, that they are receiving that higher cost, because you don't want to be saying, oh, you should only be paying $202 when they're paying $527. You're not going to sound great there. So make sure that you know these different steps that people could fall into in terms of qualifying for an income-related adjustment. It also does open up areas of more conversation, potentially for annuities, life insurance, things along those lines. So if you're, already earning the trust of your clients and you're competent and you can sell those different types of policies, why not? You should be using all the tools at your disposal, and your clients will appreciate it. I know my clients over the years, I've had people call me for their auto insurance or their home insurance, things I don't do, but things like life insurance, hospital indemnity, cancer, heart attack, and stroke, things that I specialize in. They love to buy those policies from the person that they've already bought their Medicare policy from. Here at EIP, we make a point to make sure we have that conversation with all of our members. And believe it or not, we attach about 65 to 75% of our members with an ancillary policy. So if you're not doing that, you're not having that conversation, somebody else will be having that conversation. And chances are they will talk to them about their Medicare supplement, and you might lose that policy down the road because you weren't proactive in talking to your members about all the things that you do. I know I sound like a manager here, but just want to point it out. It is very important to have those conversations. So if you found this useful, I hope you did. Share it around to your friends. It's always helpful, especially in a field that's so small and so many people are not looking for this on YouTube. Share it with somebody. You can subscribe. I'd appreciate that. It helps more people see it, and we can help more agents out. Also, if you have any questions, a link to the article is going to be down below, as well as a link to my email address and our private Facebook group. You can join that, and I release all the videos in there, as well as more helpful things from time to time, and we have some great conversations as well. All right, look forward to talking to you, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Thank you.